The biosignature scanner screamed its warning at 0347 hours. Harry Corrigan jolted awake in his prefab shelter on Kepler 442b's northern continent, his combat instincts still sharp despite 5 years of retirement. The display painted his retinal implant with thermal signatures, 3 massive heat sources, each radiating at 340 Kelvin, moving through the frozen methane fields toward his position, not moving, dying. Harry pulled on his Enviro suit and grabbed his plasma cutter, more from habit than hope. The Colonial Marine Corps had trained him to survive encounters with hostile xenofauna, but the readings made no sense. Whatever was out there shouldn't exist on this ice ball of a moon. The airlock hissed open. Kepler 442b's atmosphere, 90% nitrogen, lethal to human lungs, swirled around him as he activated his helmet's filtration system. The twin moons cast purple shadows across the crystalline landscape. Then he saw her. The creature stretched 40 meters from snout to tail, scales shimmering with an iridescent coating that Harry's HUD identified as a carbon nanotube composite. Impossible biology. Her massive head lay against the ice, one golden eye tracking his approach. Behind her, 3 ovoid structures pulsed with bioluminescent patterns, each the size of a ground transport. Eggs. Christ, Harry whispered. His suit's translation matrix hummed to life, attempting to process the low-frequency vocalizations emanating from the creature. The AI struggled, parsing syllables that existed outside human phonetic range. Protect. My children. The dragon, because what else could he call her, was hemorrhaging from multiple wounds. Harry's medical scanner identified projectile damage, railgun rounds, military grade. His blood went cold. The Colonial Survey Corps didn't use railguns. The hegemony did. They're coming. The dragon's voice echoed through his translator, clearer now. The humans who hunt, they want my genetics, my fire synthesis organs, the metabolic pathways that let my kind breathe plasma. Harry understood immediately. Weapons development. The hegemony had been searching for a breakthrough in directed energy weapons for decades. A biological system that could generate and project superheated plasma would revolutionize warfare. How long? He asked. Minutes, perhaps 10. The dragon's eye dimmed. Harry made his decision. The eggs weighed 300 kilograms each according to his suit's load calculator. His servo-assisted exoskeleton could handle it, barely. He activated the magnetic sled he used for ore collection and began the agonizing process of rolling the first egg onto the platform. The shell felt warm beneath his gloves, thrumming with internal life. Why? The dragon asked. You are human. Like them. I'm a human who knows what the hegemony does to inconvenient witnesses, Harry grunted, straining against the second egg. And I didn't spend 3 tours fighting corporate exploitation to watch it happen in my own backyard. By the time he'd loaded the third egg, his suit's proximity alarms were shrieking. 7 contacts descending from orbit. Hegemony Raptor-class assault ships, their sensor arrays already painting his shelter with targeting lasers. The dragon's breathing had stopped. Harry dragged the sled across the methane ice, his exoskeleton's motors whining in protest. 200 meters to his shelter, 150. The first ship touched down, and armored figures emerged. Hegemony reclamation units, the corporate military's wetwork specialists. He made it inside with 30 seconds to spare. The eggs barely fit through the airlock. The comms crackled to life. Harry Corrigan, Colonial Service Number 447 Alpha 972. You are harboring classified biotech. Surrender the specimens and you will be compensated. Harry laughed bitterly. He'd heard similar promises before, usually right before orbital strikes on abandoned mining colonies. The dragon told me what you want, he transmitted back. I'm former CMC. I know what classified biotech means. These eggs aren't specimens, they're children. Sentimentality is noted. You have 5 minutes to comply. Harry looked at the 3 eggs, their bioluminescent patterns pulsing in synchronization. His shelter's scanners detected neural activity within, complex, structured, aware. Whatever was developing inside possessed intelligence. He activated every protocol he'd learned in his combat engineering days. The shelter's fusion reactor overcharged. Emergency shields flared to life, drawing power faster than sustainable. His quantum Ansible, expensive retirement gift from his old unit, began broadcasting on every colonial frequency, encrypted with his military codes. The message was simple. Hegemony performing illegal xenocide on Kepler 442b, sapient species, 3 juveniles in protective custody. Request immediate colonial oversight. Outside, the warships repositioned. Harry watched their weapons charging through his external cameras, particle cannons capable of turning his shelter into vapor. Then something extraordinary happened. The eggs cracked, not breaking, opening. From within, each emerged a creature no larger than Harry's arm, scales gleaming like polished obsidian. Their eyes, golden like their mother's, fixed on him with unmistakable intelligence. The translator picked up sounds, translating instantaneously, "Father Protector." Harry's breath caught. The term wasn't biological, it was tactical, a designation, an alliance. The young dragons moved together, positioning themselves at the shelter's weak points. Their mouths opened, and plasma, brilliant, controlled, devastating, began to coalesce in their throats. The temperature inside the shelter spiked even through the environmental controls. "Sir," one of the hegemony officers transmitted, his voice uncertain. "The specimens have hatched. They're organizing." Before anyone could respond, space rippled above Kepler 442b. 3 colonial dreadnoughts translated from faster than light, their emergent signatures massive enough to scramble every sensor on the moon's surface. Harry's old commander's voice filled the comm channel. "Hegemony forces, you are in violation of the Sapient Species Protection Act. Power down your weapons or be fired upon." The standoff lasted exactly 8 seconds before the hegemony ships retreated to orbit. One of the young dragons, Orla, Harry would later name her after his grandmother, pressed her warm snout against his hand. Through the translator came a single word: safe. Harry smiled grimly. Safe was relative. But for now, for these 3 impossible creatures and the memory of their mother, it would do. Outside, the twin moons rose higher and a new chapter began.